2017. It's been a great year for video games. We got so many greats like an amazing open-world Legend of Zelda game, a wonderful 2D run-and-gun game that pays tribute to old Fleischer-style animation, and one of my personal favorite games of the year, an anime visual novel dating game. Fuck. Wait a second, let me just explain myself. I swear I wasn't masturbating to hentai again. I get it. I was hesitant at first when my friend first introduced the game to me. It seemed like another anime dating visual novel game. But my friend kept urging me, and so I finally picked it up. The opening screen literally greets the player with a warning for anyone who feels depressed or suicidal to not go any further. A perfect game for me! The game starts off like any other dating game. Name your character, talk to girls, get the anime puss. Wait, no. As is custom with any dating game, you're introduced to some girls that you get to know. In Doki Doki, you're invited to a literature club where the game gives you the choice between 4 different girls. Sayori, the vice president of the literature club, is a bubbly and energetic girl that's been your lifelong friend. She always seems to be in a good mood and can always cheer you up. Natsuki, the loli, the petite girl who's very much a tsundere. She's overly cutesy despite her very opposite attitude towards the player. Yuri, the best girl, the dark and mysterious gal who mentions having some back problems, not sure why, probably because of her bad reading posture. Which makes sense, since she talks about how much she loves literature and reading often. Last but not least, we have Monica, the literature club's president. She's mentioned as being athletic and smart, and throughout the game you can see she's very confident and kind to your character. Wow. 4 beautiful girls all in the same club as me. Who do I pick? Hey now, you can't just become one of their boyfriends just yet. You need to write them a poem. That's right. You gotta write whichever girl you like the most a poem by clicking a series of 20 different words that you think the girl prefers. However, despite there being 4 girls, you're only allowed to write a poem for either Sayori, Natsuki, or Yuri. No Monica. Huh. Well, after you have your masterpiece of a poem written down, you arrive at the club where you present your poem to everyone. And, depending on which girl you wrote your poem for, you'll spend more time with them and get to know them a lot better. So, where the hell is the spooky shit? I was warned at the beginning of the game that I shouldn't play if I had depression or suicidal thoughts. I will admit, one of my only gripes with this game is how long it takes before anything out of the ordinary happens. But, at the same time, it's good that it takes a little while. Just enough so that you forget you're supposed to be playing some kind of messed up game. Then, you have an intense talk with Sayori and her depression. The game finally starts to deviate slightly from the average cutesy dating sim, as Sayori describes through tears how tough her life has been, and how she loves you so much that she wishes she could just disappear. Your player tries his best to comfort her, but later on has to make a difficult decision of whether to reject her confession, or to tell her you love her back. Afterwards, you go back to the club to discuss the upcoming festival and are met with Monica, who puts some pamphlets of the poems that the club has made. Everyone's poems seem fine except for Sayori's. Now you get a pit in your stomach. What the hell does this poem mean, is what you think to yourself as you rush over to Sayori's house. You approach her house and knock on her bedroom door. Silence. You brace yourself as you open the door and... After hours of chatting with these girls and forgetting that this game had anything dark and horrible to it, it's finally happened. Sayori couldn't take it anymore. She figured it was for the best that she just killed herself. Survival instincts probably kicked in for her, as you can see her fingers all bloodied from grabbing at the rope on her neck and trying to get free. Your character can't believe his eyes. He doesn't want to believe what he's seeing. He puts the blame on himself for Sayori's death and wishes he could just go back and make everything okay for her again. But there's nothing he can do. And that's it. The end screen appears. This is where the game finally takes a very strange turn. After looking at the glitched main menu and clicking what you assume is the new game button, the game starts you back all the way to the beginning. However, Sayori is not present at all. In her place is a bunch of messed up text and a glitched picture of the 3 remaining girls, until the game literally rewrites itself to not include Sayori. Not only this, but if you were to follow the file that's given during Sayori's death, you'll find some very interesting text and pictures that start popping up throughout the rest of the game that suggest a greater force is behind Sayori's suicide. What follows after this are endless glitches and fourth wall breaks that leave the player with a great feeling of unease, especially since Monika subtly hints that she knows everything that's going on through her poems and dialogue. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a complete sucker for any game that breaks the fourth wall. It rarely happens, and if done correctly, can seriously have the player sitting there and wondering, what the fuck just happened? After going through most of the game a second time, the issues facing these girls earlier pop more apparently now. We already know of Sayori's depression, but we start to learn that Yuri has a problem with self-harm and Natsuki has an abusive father. With plenty more strange shit that happens, it becomes more apparent that Monika understands fully what is going on and wants to be with you. It makes sense too, she was never given any chance to be with you. Everything in the game prevented the two of you from being together. Writing the poems, the choices of the game, and just spending time with her in general. You couldn't do any of that with her, and she'll do whatever she has to be with you. One of my favorite parts of the game is when the club comes back to having to plan for the festival, and who you'll be going with to help out. After more meddling with the game from Monika, Yuri finally snaps. Her dialogue actually had me a bit worried about what was going to happen next, and even Natsuki and Monika were taken aback by it. When you're finally alone with Yuri, she finally confesses that she's madly in love with you. Like all the other creepy shit she was doing before totally didn't hint at that fact. And asks you if you accept her confession. Whether you say yes or no, Yuri only begins to start laughing as she loses her mind and pulls out the knife she's been cutting herself with and stabs herself. Not once, no, not even twice, but 3 whole times. Gotta hand it to her, I don't think I'd be able to stab myself with a fucking knife 3 damn times. Yuri lies lifeless on the floor as black jumbled text moves across the screen and ominous music starts playing. I'm seriously not joking when I say this is one of my favorite parts of the game. Having to stare at Yuri's dead body decomposing for days while the black text just whizzes by gave me one of the most uneasy feelings in a game ever. And you can't do a damn thing about it. You have to sit through the weekend. No skipping, no quitting. Just waiting until the weekend is finally over, and you're interrupted by Natsuki, who shrieks in horror at the sight of one of her friends lying lifeless on the ground. Of course, when Monika arrives, all that bitch does is laugh. To clean up the mess she caused a little, Monika goes and straight up deletes the character files for both Natsuki and Yuri. With the game basically being broken, we're presented with a new screen. Sitting in a classroom in the middle of nothing, the only person that seems to exist in this world now is Monika. Just Monika. Besides the Yuri part that I was gushing about earlier, this part of the game was done so well that for a brief moment, it felt that Monika was actually real, like a real person that knows that they're trapped in this hell of a video game. Monika finally addresses you. No, not the person you're playing in the game, she addresses you, the player, the person behind the screen. She knows you exist, and she wants you to be her everything. Literally. Having what you know is just a bunch of programming feel like it's actually talking and interacting with you feels really unsettling as Monika goes more in depth about some of her realizations and how she messed with Sayori and Yuri's heads to finally get them to kill themselves. As if the fourth wall wasn't already completely decimated, you can get a piece of dialogue from Monika if you're recording or streaming your game. As you get further into your wonderful chat about existence and life itself with Monika, the game hints the player to go ahead and delete Monika from the game files. When you do, this happens. After deleting basically the last thing holding the game together, everything seems to fall apart. Monika isn't fully gone, as she still talks to you about how even though she thinks you're one of the most cruel, sickest, terrible people she's ever known, she still can't help but love you. This goes to show how, despite having a lot of control over the game, she still doesn't truly have control over herself. As she laments in all the terrible things she did to her friends, she decides it's not fair for them. She was being selfish, and that she'll bring everyone back, excluding herself. As the game gets rewritten again, we're brought back to the main menu once more, where we see that everything seems to have been restored and fixed, except for Monika. Going through the game now, it seems like the game is finally playing like how it should have been, just your average dating sim game. But this wouldn't be Doki Doki without another dark twist! As you get a moment to talk to Sayori for a little bit, she comes clean. She knows. She knows everything that's happened. Everything that Monika did, how you try to make the club happy. And now, she wants to be with you forever. Hey, I didn't sign up for this shit. Then, out of nowhere, the one thing you thought was gone from the game forever returns. Monika has her last revelation. She realizes there truly is no happiness in this game. As she says goodbye to you one last time and deletes everything, something else appears.
Can you hear me? Hi, it's me. So you know how I've been like practicing piano and stuff, and not really any good at it yet, like at all. But I wrote you a song, and I was kind of hoping that I could show it to you, because I worked really, really hard on it. So yeah. Every day I imagine a future where I can be with you. In my hand is a pen that will write a poem of me and you. The ink flows down into a dark puddle. Just move your hand right the way into his heart. But in this world of infinite choices, what will it take just to find that special day? What will it take just to find that special day? Have I found everybody a fun assignment?
As the credits finally roll, the rest of the game gets deleted before our very eyes. Every interaction, every poem, every awkward sexual tension, it's all gone. Monika's last message to you finally shows that she understands that no happiness can be found for the girls in this game, but she's glad you tried to help. This game really did blow all expectations I had of it out of the water. When told there might be some messed up stuff hidden in the game, I could have never expected this. I said it once and I'll say it again. Games that break the fourth wall in clever ways, that make it part of its story, will always leave a huge lasting impression on me. And with Doki Doki Literature Club, this is one game that I'll be thinking about for a very long time. Hey, thanks for watching my video. We certainly had a fun time talking about anime girls that are trapped in their video game hell. If you enjoyed my video, why not leave a like and subscribe? And if you have any critiques for my video, or just want to make a funny Doki Doki joke, why not leave a comment down below? And finally, I want to thank Dan Salvato and others that helped put this amazing experience of a game together. And if you want to support them, I recommend buying their fan pack on Steam, or checking out their merch shop they have. Well, that looks like it's about it. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.